I guess they want us to talk about this movie that affected our lives.
Well, let's go. Why don't we do that? These are really cool titles. Beautiful, deep, rich colors. The color, it's really pretty.
The whole film was shot in Chicago, except for about 2 weeks. Covered the crime scene in Chicago, the Chicago mob, the Four Seasons Hotel in Chicago. These are the kind of scenes where you get to throw all your high school friends in the background as extras.
I like this part.
This is the University of Chicago. I'm very grateful to the University of Chicago.
Did it happen upstairs or downstairs?
That's a real Chicago accent. True Polish Chicago cop. Harrison's from Chicago. The kid I went to high school with is a lawyer in Chicago, a Chicago actor. This was shot in a courtroom in Chicago, another Chicago actor. This is the basement of a grammar school in Chicago. I guess grammar schools are like prisons in Chicago.
That's the Tuckasegee River, and boy, was it cold. The Tuckasegee has trout in it. I like this part.
This is all done on location.
Harrison makes this movie really easy to believe.
Audiences love this moment.
Background just came in from Chicago.
About time. What we got?
We had designed this whole sequence knowing that we were going to build the continuation of it on a stage in Chicago. Now we're on a stage in Chicago. This is on location. This is on a stage in Chicago, North Carolina, Chicago. Still in North Carolina. We're about ready to go back to Chicago. Chicago. At Meigs Field in Chicago, on the south side of Chicago. Empty downtown Chicago, all Chicago actors. This is South Chicago. I used to buy clothes in this neighborhood as a kid. A vascular surgeon from the University of Chicago up the Chicago River. Chicago hot dogs, the wonderful Chicago actress. Here's the famous St. Patrick's Day in Chicago. A nice Irish bar. Chicago movies. Chicago journalist in Chicago in the winter. Great Chicago gal.
I told you I don't know him.
He threw in the middle of a Chicago accent in there.
I like this part.
This is the University of Chicago exterior, the library of the University of Chicago.
Look at this blow-up, Chicago Memorial.
Chicago musician. He's got a jazz t-shirt on. He's another Chicago actor. I've had a lot of experience shooting on the L's in Chicago.
A rooftop in Chicago.
They have conventions in Chicago day and night.
There's those charming blue bags. Blue laundry bags hanging from the ceiling in a basement in Chicago. A bunch of blue sacks. I don't know what in the world that was that hit Joey Pantoliano in the head. It looked like a part of a railroad track. Well, it's just a wonderful movie. It's a lot of fun to watch.
I love you, Chicago.